Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is 2012, and we're going to talk about 12-21-12, hopefully until 12-21-12, but not without breaks. That is, hopefully, we'll be on weekly until December 21st, 2012. Enjoy. Your cable boxes and computers have microphones in them. Your cell phones, while hung up, are microphones. All your cell phone activities are recorded. They can hear us whisper. Cameras everywhere, and soon your money will have RFID technology and will be traceable. They're putting 80 satellites in space to spot anyone going in and out of a building. Welcome to 2012, the production. I'd like to promote EternityJumper.com. That's EternityJumper.com. All one word, all lowercase. EternityJumper.com. E-T-E-R, N as in Nancy, I-T-Y, J-U-M as in Michael, P-E-R.com. EternityJumper.com. A no-buy, no-sell study guide on the creation, flood, and day of the Lord. I encourage you to watch on EternityJumper.com Quest for Christ number 1, which comes in 3 parts labeled A, B, and C. You'll never think the same again about the day of visitation when God the Father and God the Son appear to cut the time short, or no flesh would be saved. Although there is no date set when the day of visitation shall occur, when you see things occur, you will know Christ has spoken of them. That's on EternityJumper.com. Enjoy. We're going to delve into prophecies of Edgar Cayce. Edgar Cayce was a reader who gave 14,300 psychic readings. Half were on health issues. Did not speak much on 2012 Mayan calendar, though acknowledged Mayans were noble and attuned to celestial consciousness. They were not doing sacrifices originally, though they lost their attunement, prior to which were attuned to celestial consciousness. Prophecies of cycles, which Cayce had spoken of, include the Mayans' 7 ages. Aztec had 5, though secretly added to. Egyptians had 7 ages also. Prophecies of the Bishop Malachi and Nostradamus state one more pope after this one that we have right now, and that's that. So all these things are coming together. Cayce prophesied the end of the church, and all denominations and major religions who have teachings of one God, one people, will begin to unite again, with much pain that will be worked through. Cayce spoke of a pitch battle of dark and light forces. He did say Armageddon would go on at this time we're in right now. So we could actually be in Armageddon as we speak, as there is a pitch battle between the forces of darkness and light. Cayce said Satan will be bound 1,000 years, ushering in 1,000-year golden age. I'm going to read from the Edgar Cayce, ARE, Association for Research and Enlightenment website. Now you'll have to bear with me because the writing's kind of small, so you have to bear with me. In order to grasp the Mayan message, we need to understand a little about how they saw the sky and how events in the sky indicated times of death, rebirth, and the passage of time for souls living in this galaxy and in this solar system. The Milky Way is their major image in the sky. As we know, we live on the outskirts of our galaxy, and the Milky Way is the dense cluster of stars when looking toward the center of our galaxy. It appears as a long strip of stars in the sky above us. For the Maya, the rising, passing, and descending of the Milky Way in the sky marked major points in the cycles of time. Also, parts of the Milky Way and other stars prominent in our sky have specific meaning to our lives and the history of humanity and the heavenly realms, the realms of the gods. To the Maya, the Milky Way's major features and the changes in its position and shape during the night revealed our origin, passage, and destiny. They are the tree of life, the celestial crocodile that gnaws at the tree of life, the cosmic canoe of the pattern gods that follows after the crocodile, the lying down sky or black dream place, and 7 stars in the Big Dipper representing the egocentric 7 macaw who attempted to take the place of the sun. Simplified, the heaven passage tells the story of the initial fall of life's goodness at sunset, followed by the rise of egoism and self-seeking, which brought the rise of dangerous lower urges that crawl on their belly as the cursed serpent in the Garden of Eden, and attack the attempts of life to resurrect, to rise anew, reborn. Fortunately, these dark influences are driven off by the higher ideals and the will to do good again. Eventually, life is reborn and rises on a new dawn. That new dawn begins December 21st, 2012, the winter solstice. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, just correcting my posture. Okay, what follows the age of movement? Some say the 2012 marks the end of the world, but many more say that it is a new beginning. Nostradamus wrote that he sees the year 3797. Let me read that again. 37,971. The biblical revelation sees a time when all evil will be banned from the world, and that period will last for 1,000 years. Although the Mayan and Aztec artifacts do not tell of a timeline beyond the age of movement, their ancestors carry a tale of 2 more ages to follow the age of movement. They are the age of the spirit of all living things, followed by the age of the return of oneness, indicating that there is much left to do and much soul growth to realize and make our own. Now this is Edward Casey's view. I will read on. When asked what the new age means to humanity, Edgar Casey replied, "The full consciousness of the ability to communicate with the creative forces and be aware of the relationships to the creative forces and the uses of same or material environs. The awareness during the era or age, in the age of Atlantis and Lumia or Mu, brought what? Destruction to man and his beginning of the needs of the journey up through that of selfishness. You have to excuse me. It's kind of small letters here. So when asked, let's see here. See, Casey is informing us that in a previous time cycle, humanity had a level of consciousness and relationship with the creative forces that allowed us to live at higher levels of material, mental, and spiritual activity in the earth and beyond. Unfortunately, we misuse this consciousness and the power that came with the close relationship to the forces. This misuse brought on the destruction of our great cultures and a long karmic soul's journey through the pain and confusion that resulted from our selfishness and self-centered focus on our will without regarding for the will of the Creator and others. Now, as the cycles come around again, we are nearing a time when the level of consciousness and relationship with the creative forces will allow us once again to regain these powers. Before we despair that humankind is going to misuse these again, let's remember that many souls and even the Logos, the Word, have come into materiality and continue to come to help prepare the way for rebirth and resurrection. We overestimate the power of the world and its leaders. The unseen heavenly forces have greater power and will overcome the world's darkness and selfishness, breaking through with a light that will transform this realm for 1,000 years, when all evil and temptation will be bound and a golden age will reign. The biblical book of the Revelation conveys this prophecy. I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, having the key of the abyss and a great chain in his hand. He seized the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole inhabited earth, and bound him for 1,000 years. Of course, souls in the world must help lift humanity to higher levels of understanding, love, and spirituality. In 2012, the beginning of the fulfillment of these wonderful prophecies of the Izapa, Maya, Aztecs, Edward Casey, and the Revelation. Oh, excuse me, let me read that again. It shows a lot if you leave one word out, what it means. Is 2012 the beginning of the fulfillment of these wonderful prophecies of the Izapa, Maya, Aztecs, Edward Casey, and the Revelation? Or is it just another step on the long journey towards such fulfillment? The answer depends on us. How many of us catch the vision and raise our vibrations and consciousness to contribute to a truly new age of enlightenment will determine what occurs in January 2013. Okay, that was a little bit about from Edward Casey on these times. Now, Edward Casey said Michigan is the best place to be in these times because we have all the water. So you can see it, he's probably right because there's a lot of people who would like to have our water. But he said that Michigan is the best place to be in times like this because we have all the water. This is 2012, the production. Your cable boxes and computers and microphones have microphones in them. Your cell phones are microphones, and all cell phone conversations are being recorded. They can hear us whisper. Be happy there's a show like this. We won't keep you in the dark. This is going to be a relaxed environment, which will have other topics such as recipes, weather, your own discussions, as from time to time we'll be live and provide open mics for you to call in for your views and ideas. Now, I'll take the time to promote EternityJumper.com. On it, there's nothing to buy, nothing to sell. I encourage you to watch Quest for Christ #1, which comes in 3 10-minute parts labeled A, B, and C. You'll find a serious study on the end times, highlighting the Father's presence and Jesus Christ being born again in the end. You'll find a scripture explaining scripture study guide that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the end times. Now, as I say, we're going to have a lot of different things. We're going to have stories on other stories that will deal with life living in these times. And one of those I'm going to pop up here on my system here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the old days. We have old technology here. We got DVDs. We got to switch them, so you have to forgive me here, because we have old technology here. Okay, let's see here. We're going to bring this up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of the times we're living in today. Okay. Okay, now, if you look at this tape, you'll see that I'm going through town because I'm working on a production. Now, as I'm going through town, this happens to me a lot, ladies and gentlemen. When I arrive into town, I notice pictures being taken, and I notice people using cell phones to snap pictures, little devices to snap pictures, regular cameras to snap pictures. And, you know, it makes me think of Secretary of Defense Casey, and that he said he was going to, that he signed for 1 million spies to go about the United States. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but if you look on the left of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, as this silver car is passing the street, you'll see a gentleman walking in the other direction. I know this isn't a very good example because it's hard to see, but you can see this gentleman walking in the other direction. Now, this gentleman who's crossing the street, walking in the other direction of this silver car and me, snapped a picture as I came up upon Main Street in Huron. And then, noticing that I had a camera, he walked in the other direction of where he was headed, because I would have got a better picture of him. But you can see him walking away. If you can just see that guy walking away. Now, it's my idea that if these are indeed spies in the United States, that they're probably circling the cities, and you know, they probably, so they don't have one person that you see all the time spying on you, but rather they have a intricate, a very sophisticated system by which they travel the United States and spy on the city streets. Now, there again, ladies and gentlemen, this is an example of what we're going to have on this production here, 2012, the production, because we're going to have on the times we live in. I should have the ability to get better pictures in this, ladies and gentlemen, because I noticed the other day when I was taking footage, I need raw footage for material that I'm working on, and I noticed the other day that they're still taking pictures, and it's not just students, ladies and gentlemen, these are grown adults who are handling camera equipment and small camera equipment, cell phone type photograph cameras, and taking pictures of me, and probably not just me, ladies and gentlemen. It's just I happen to notice this as I'm going through town. Now, I don't go through town all the time with a camera on me. Very rarely do I go through town with a camera on me. So every once in a while, I will be going through town with a camera inside my vehicle to see if I can take footage of people taking pictures of me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, last year I spotted a half a dozen pictures being taken every day for a couple months as I was traveling through town. And I noticed, I thought then that it would be very, very ridiculous for me to have pictures of people taking pictures of me, so I didn't even bother with it. But then I came up and thought, well, this would be good for our production 2012 to show the life that we have created for ourselves within this time before 2012. And this production, ladies and gentlemen, will be going on through, hopefully, to 2/12/21/12, the end of the Mayan calendar, of which this show will end. Ladies and gentlemen, this should be very interesting. Now, we have some other footage that a little bit lighter and in humor here. Okay, let me get to this ancient technology here. You know, these DVDs. You know, what would they have done? How did they build the pyramids without DVDs? That's what I'd like to know. Okay, now we have some footage here, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of to lift the spirits up a little bit if they're not lifted already. But let's see here. Okay. Now here we have a University of Michigan truck. And here we have, as you can see, it's got the logo of the University of Michigan. We're going to just watch this a couple of times. It's going to lift our spirits. He's going to show us his IQ, this person who's driving this truck here. It says on there, Tunnels Steam Fitters. Okay, there's his IQ. And now he's going to show us his high morals. And there's his high morals. Yeah, we have no need of any correction in this world because we have this man who represents a high IQ and high morals. And as you can see, he's driving a University of Michigan truck, and it says on there, Tunnels and Steam Fitters. And we'll just watch this one more time, ladies and gentlemen, because, you know, and we're going to watch it from time to time if we, to lift the spirits up a little bit. Now here he goes. He's going to give us his IQ. First he's checking, make sure nobody sees him. He's going to give us his IQ. Okay. There's his IQ. He's given us his IQ. Now he's given us his high morals. This is what he teaches all those around him, ladies and gentlemen. His high morals and high IQ. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of that one there. But anyways, you know, we live in a time, ladies and gentlemen, that the world has never seen before. We live in a time where we're on the edge of complete annihilation. Now, these times have been spoken of by other cultures and other peoples. And this is what 2012 is all about, of the different cultures and the different peoples that have prophesied concerning around this time, the end of the Mayan calendar, 2012, as being significant and important in our consciousness development and also biblically in our spiritual, in our biblical and apocalyptic understanding of ancient texts. Which, remember, Jesus Christ said everything the Father told him to speak. He said everything the Father told him to say. Now, one of those things he told him, of course, was, had the time not be cut short, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, the time shall be cut short. Now, this is something signifying, I mean, Jesus Christ, you know, he says everything the Father told him to say. And here we have a situation where in the end, the time shall be cut short, because God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but receive everlasting life. Um, so a lot of people are looking for this everlasting life, and so, anyways, and this is important too. We're also going to, not only are we going to discuss such as Edward Casey and prophecies, we're also going to get into biblical prophecies. We're not going to get into rapture prophecies because we just don't believe in it around here. Because, Jesus Christ said in John 15:17, I believe it was, he said, I would not, he was talking to the Father, and he said, I would not that thou shouldest take them out of the world, but that thou shouldest keep them from the evil. So Jesus Christ more asked the Father not to take the elect, not to take the elect out of the world, but to keep them from the evil. And you can imagine that's quite a task there. But of course, with God, all things are possible. Let's see here. Now, this isn't going to be a mixing of religions in any way, and this isn't going to promote the coming together of all religions. What it is to show life leading up to the end of the Mayan calendar and other prophecies that deal with this time and what will occur. Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you have to get out of the box. You know, you have to listen to other people's views, because in a lot of ways, religious people, those who are religious, I have my faith also, but those who are religious in a lot of ways, they don't have it all figured out themselves, yet they condemn other people who are saying their views. So we're going to have all kinds of different views. Last show we had views on the Lakota Indians and the White Buffalo prophecies. So this is the type of work and show we'll be producing here at 2012. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the show. We will end our show now. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will end the show with this question. To all of you who get their power from Satan, what are you going to do without your leader?